Hi, good day. My name is Chinya B. Ganesh and I'm going to be talking to you about a really interesting topic. Is virtue relative? I'm sure we all know what virtue is. We have various virtues which we encounter in our daily lives, like, for example, kindness, honesty, compassion, tolerance, integrity, etc., patience. But my question to you is there any inherent merit in the virtue? Whether the virtue is kindness, honesty, or tolerance, is there an inherent merit by itself in the virtue, or does it actually depend upon the situation? That is the question I would like to pose to you. Personally, I think that there is no inherent merit in the virtue itself. It depends on the context and the situation in which the act is actually performed. So, what do I mean by this? Let me go into this a little bit more in detail. Let us take a hypothetical situation in which, let us say, a friend is in need of somebody. Let us say your friend comes to you and tells you that he has been overlooked for this year's promotion too. So, what would you do in this situation? There are multiple things you could do. One is you could just listen to him pour out his troubles and be patient with him, or you could try to tell him, try to be sympathetic with him and give him words of encouragement that he can get in promotion in later years, or you could be blunt and tell him his shortcomings and show him some of the reasons why he did not get the promotion. Now, these are three different acts that you perform. One, you are being patient with him, just listening to what he has to say, not offering any advice. In the second case, you are actually being sympathetic to him, offering him words of encouragement. And third, you're actually being blunt with him. In fact, you could say honest with him. Which is the right approach? Personally, I think we should initially at least excuse me, we should not be blunt. We should listen to him, let him come up with his problems, and then maybe once he settles down later, we can give him the reasons why he probably did not get. So, the approach itself is different. Let us take a second case. Let us say a child, whether it's your son or daughter, flunks his exam and comes to you. What do? Do you berate him, give him advice, give her advice, or do you understand what needs to be done and understand his shortcomings and be kind to him, but in the background you take action on how to handle his shortcomings? So actually, in these two situations, the previous one and this one, you see there are multiple actions. In sometimes it's kind, sometimes it's honest, and there is a difference. So, what is the approach that you need to take? Is there a virtue which we cannot just think that we could be just honest, and honesty is a virtue, and we just be honest in every situation? There are some people who say that I just like to see things in black and white, and I don't like to hide things. I just tell people whatever I think right up to their face. Personally, I think being brutally honest is not just stupidity, it's also being insensitive. Honesty by itself does not have any merit. It is only when you use it carefully and compassionately it has merit. Similarly, with the act of kindness. Kindness by itself does not have any merit. When there is an occasional transgressor, somebody who does a mistake once in a while, you could be kind to him, try to show him what he is doing wrong. But then, What would you do if, in the case of a dictator or a tyrant who is known for ill-treating many of his subjects? In such a situation, kindness does not make any sense. You have to take action. You have to make sure that the tyrant understands. One example is the Mahabharata, where the war was waged because the Kauravas did not listen to reason, and there was no use of kindness or forgiveness in that situation. So the war was waged to bring justice. Similarly, here's another situation. Is there an inherent merit in altruism? Does it make sense to just, you know, help out people who are in trouble? Maybe you see a beggar and you always drop coins to him? Or do you take action to create opportunities for the underprivileged? What would be the right approach? Is there merit in altruism where you just make sure that the poor or underprivileged get the meal that they're looking for at that particular time, or do you look for some long-term approach to solve their problems? Is there an inherent merit in altruism? Again, it is not so. So we have seen that there is no inherent merit in the virtue that we know of itself. So whether it's honesty by itself is not meritorious. By being brutally honest, you not only hurt the other person, you're also being insensitive. Sometimes kindness is more important than honesty. It is more important to be kind than to be honest, personally, I think. But in other situations, kindness also does not make sense. In some situations, we may have to take action to prevent any inadvertent mistakes that may happen, as in the case of the Mahabharata. Similarly, altruism by itself does not have any inherent merit. We need to look at how we can help people. Personally, I think virtue is in itself does not have any inherent merit. The merit, if any, is because of the situation and the context in which the act is done. So, personally, I think virtue is relative. Thanks for listening.